Right. So let's speak about your first band, your first experience, your first gig. Now, how did the connection come about of the members or whatever experience, or even the chances that you even try to get into a band, and it was probably even like failed attempts, because we all suffer and render in
Yeah.
rejection. Sorry.
All right. So the first time I tried to get in a band,
Right.
um, it was actually the J Kids,
Mm.
right? Because I used to be cool. Because I used to be cool with Alan, with Tweak. So like we used to be them kids at Templo, just observing everything and knowing who was whack and who was good, and stuff like that or
Mhm.
whatever. So I told him like, yo, I want to be in your band, man. Like, what's up? So he's like, yeah, just talk to my dad, and and stuff like that. So I'm just like, oh, okay, just talk to your dad. Perfect,
Right.
right? So I remember I remember seeing Jay King at a Honduras parade in like 2005
Mhm.
or whatever. And I remember that parade because G&G killed it, and that's the first time that I had seen G&G because they had two dancers with them, and one of them was my cousin Jessica
Mhm.
or whatever. Oh my God.
No man.
So yo, y'all play too
No
much.
man.
So all right, so that right. So I remember seeing Jay King, and I'm like, all right, perfect opportunity. I'm about to go up to him right now.
Mhm.
So I see him, and I'm like, hey Jay King, I want to be in the J Kids band or whatever and stuff like that. And then he's like, what instrument do you play? And I'm like, I play piano, congas a little bit or whatever. And then he's like, well, the J Kids is kind of, pretty occupied right now, but there's other bands that need musicians. You should see who else.
Ooh.
And I'm like, yo, bro, J King, like he
Peace
just,
out.
yeah, he shut down, like he shut me down, and I just like felt bad. I remember feeling like I wasn't gonna ask nobody to be in their band no more.
Mm.
I was just gonna,
Just on some.
I was
I'll
just gonna
figure it
get
out.
in it
Wow.
or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, I
So
remember
we.
feeling like that. No
Wow.
offense to J King, that's that's the homie, that's the OG or whatever. But that's something that occurred when I was like 12 years old in Crotona Park.
Oh, no en Cartona. Nada de
Hasta
Cartona.
me recuerdo a dónde fue.
Ay, wow.
Mhm.
It still scar you to this day, bro?
Yep,
No? Wow,
I
okay.
remember where it was at.
All right, let's move on. So,
All right,
before we move
all right.
on, let's
Where
run it
they
back.
do the parade at, right? Where they
Oh, man.
usually put the stage. There's a side where you could get out, but not through the entrance, through the other side. It's like a little. Yeah, the 17 passes by there. It's like a little entrance that it's like this, and you could get out the park that way. He was like in the middle of that or whatever. Yeah.
Damn.
hmm
He really remember.
Yeah, I remember the location and everything.
That sucks.
hmm
So, Team Chasing Band, see Chasing Band, Sensation Band. I
Yeah.
want to speak on Sensation Band because coming up, I really looked at it like a group of dudes who were young, just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Amongst with the rest, there was a lot of bands coming up, and I was all the way in Florida, so just seeing that scene of just young dudes coming together and seeing all of that happen was such a beautiful thing. So I want to speak on that experience for you. What was that like? How did that even come about? How did everybody link up?
Yeah.
How
Well,
did that come up?
Sensation Band was already a band
Mm-hmm.
before I got there. But I remember, like, after Jay King had, like, shut me down, as much as I felt like I wasn't going to ask nobody to be in their band anymore, I was still scouting.
Mm.
Because it's just like, I'm just saying to myself that I'm not going to ask nobody anymore. But it's just like, at 12 years old, I could just be saying that,
Right.
but, still feel that way.
Right.
So I remember Sensation Band had a page, and they had some songs up there. They had Take a Walk With Me or whatever, and there was a picture of the three members that was just them at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started writing to them like, yo,
Right.
any spot open, like, like,
Right.
like yeah, like that's how that really came about. So, so they replied to me or whatever, and I went to the tryout.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that I was talking to from the page didn't make it that day.
Mm.
Yeah, so the tryout basically never happened because I wasn't even received well. Like I was treated like on some like, yo, who this nigga?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And they, of course, they're gonna look at you like that.
Yeah.
You a newbie, so
Mm-hmm.
to them
Exactly.
it's Uh,
Yeah,
so anytime after that, it was just a different vibe.
it always been
Mm.
since day one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
All right. So what was it that Sensation did for you as far as experience? What did you gain from it?
What Sensation Band did for me as far as experience, it just taught me that everybody has a mind of their own,
Mm.
and you're not gonna get along with everybody individually.
Absolutely.
hmm
Wow.
Yeah, because till this day, I'm still tight with Little June.
Mm.
There's been a fallout just once,
Mhm.
but you feel me? Like we've been tight ever since them days.
Right.
And before Sensation Band, me and Little June had the same babysitter, which is mi tia Claribel. So we grew up
Mm.
together or
Okay.
whatever and shit like that.
Small world.
Yeah, so we go back.
That's crazy. So after Sensation, what was it like for you? Like I know you helped out a lot of bands and dibbled and dabbled and
After Sensation Band, I was just everywhere.
hmm.
I was everywhere.
What was the first move after Sensation though?
Um, well, while Sensation Band was happening,
Mm.
I remember I had a real close friend named Kevin. He's a rapper now, actually. Stunner Boy, he calls himself,
Okay.
or whatever. So,
Blah blah.
we're right. So, he was like, "Yo, Primo, I want to come out with the I want to come up with a band, and I think we should name it HHG. Like, it's like hip hop garifuna."
Mm.
And I'm like, that's cool. And then he was like, "Yeah, I got Havanas and all of that." So,
Okay.
so,
Okay.
so at that time,
Okay. Blah blah.
so at that time, right? So at that time, he had a that Ciara song, rock it, stop it, everybody get up. Yeah, so that shit,
Mm-hmm.
he had turned that into punta. He was like, "Yo, primo, what you think about this? Rock it, stop it, everybody get
Get
on
on the
the floor,
floor.
and the song
Mhm.
got in like mama we are."
That's
I'm like, all right, cool.
okay.
So, so after that, he brings along, Monkey, which he calls his cousin.
Man.
So Monkey, right, is his cousin. Monkey was rapping at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was still in high school, and
Okay.
he used to call himself T Monkey.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he used to rap. He had tracks on MySpace and all of that. I just remember one of the songs. It was called Chinese Slippers. Yeah, that title always stood out to me. I remember that when Monkey used to rap. He
Okay.
had videos on YouTube and all of that.
Content and all.
In
Okay.
his school, all of that. I'm like,
Wow.
he's gonna be somebody or whatever. So I'm like, all right, so then we brought him in as a singer. So
Mm.
and then Kevin started telling him the Nirvanas he got or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So basically Monkey adapted to the flow that we was, that Kevin had brought to the idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's when he just
The vibe
basically
started
started
to.
doing,
Okay.
everything that, not doing exactly what Kevin was saying, but clearly that Nirvana that, Kevin came up
Same
with
vibe.
was what Monkey recorded on the
Mm.
SKM joint
Mm-hmm.
with Spice or whatever.
Okay. Okay.
And shit like that. Yeah.
All
So,
right.
HHG was something that me and Kevin came up with. Then he got Monkey and I got Justin.
Mm.
So it was just us four.
Mm.
So we had did a song, Give It to You.
Mm.
Bro, horrible. That was my first recording ever.
Why did you say that?
It was because I mean, if you hear it, like just the mixing was, and then at the time we had did the pattern on the M1 like manual, like tuk, tuk,
Oh, so
tuk,
it
tuk.
sounds
Yeah, and then the M1 has a horrible percussion for
Mhm.
punta music
right.
or whatever,
Right.
or whatever and
Oh
stuff
my
like that.
god.
So, hmm
That's crazy.
yeah, so
So.
that's how we came up with HHG or whatever. And then once it was just us four,
Mhm.
I was always real cool with E
Mhm.
because I used to go to Alagani basement, and E was in 2G crew at the time. He was the singer, him and O.
Okay.
Yeah. So E asked me, he was like, "Yo, you Tito, right? You in Sensation Band?" He was like, "Yeah, my cousin is in there, whatever, and da 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 da, whatever." So I'm just like, "Yo, I'm making a new band. Like, you should pull up to my crib and check us out or whatever."
Mhm.
So when E come to my crib, E comes with O, Chris, Chubbs, basically who Ecstasy is today or whatever. Junito, everybody pulled up.
Mm.
So I remember E asking Justin, he was like, "Yo, I got the rest of the band like right here. Like, we could just like, start our own thing. What's up? So I remember Blaze telling him like, yo, y'all gotta talk to Tito. And I remember being in my living room just hosting other people that was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember E coming to ask me, he was like, yo, bro, what's up? Like, we trying to be down. So I'm like, I bet. So the same day that we became the same day that I put them down and now it's all of us,
Mm-hmm.
we recorded Dance With Me.
Mm.
And June came through, King June, he came through and he arranged it.
Mm.
He came
Okay.
through and he arranged it. And while I was sitting on the computer, he was telling me, he like, yeah, because, all right, put the kick up a little bit, lower this, lower that. So that mix came out way better than the Give It To You one. So once that
Mm.
mix came out and people was jacking it and it was lit, it felt like, we took off
Okay.
or whatever and stuff like that. But there was something that I didn't know about just owning something.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that is because once the group got clout and I was still trying to figure myself out, because, I had HHG going, I was still in Sensation Band
Mm-hmm.
and, doing many other things.
Right.
Yo, bro, niggas kicked me out my own group, bro. Yeah, bro, they
Wow.
had a vote and I was voted out of HHG.
Wow.
Hmm. Yeah.
And why do you feel that is, Brejan?
Probably because
Dibbling dabbling?
I guess I was just trying to, like, you feel me? Yo, bro, I was trying to get my hands on everything.
Okay.
You feel me? I was trying to get my hands on everything. So I guess in them times there was this thing with loyalty to bands where you just had to pick one band and stay there or whatever and stuff like that. And I was just like kind of breaking that rule. Like, all right,
Mm.
I made HSG in my crib, but let me go fuck around with these niggas in Brooklyn real quick. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? Like type shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't like acceptable
Right.
or whatever. So they had a vote and
They
I was out
pieced
of
you
there.
out.
And guess what? Even when that happened, I was still mad supportive. Like they were still rehearsing in my crib with me not being in the band.
Wow.
I was still going to the shows, taking pictures of them and all of that and shit like that. So, you know what started happening?
What's that? What's that, E?
You know what started happening? Niggas started shouting me out as their cameraman.
They
Yeah,
gave you the water boy job?
type shit. Like, yeah, shout out to Tito, man, the cameraman, da 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 da.
Oh.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Or whatever and shit like
See
that.
Jovi's face?
But
Me.
mhm. But it was
I
all
didn't
right
get these
though.
details as well.
Mhm.
This is very refreshing.
But it was all right though. It
Wow.
was,
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
So that's one of the bands that you've helped curate.
Mhm.
And what happened after Ecstasy, bro?
After Ecstasy, I was still kind of like trying to revive Sensation Band,
Mm-hmm.
but that wasn't working because the actual leader of the group was kidnapped and taken into another group.
Oh wow, that happens as well.
Yeah, he was kidnapped.
He got
Yeah, he
snatched.
got snatched.
Oh man,
So
it happens.
yeah, so I was still trying to like revive Sensation Band. Yo, but we was rocking though
Okay.
because when that you feel me, like when that situation happened,
Mm-hmm.
I used to call my bro Jovi.
Mm.
Like, yo, bro, we got a gig in Templo. We gonna sound check at this time. Just yo, bro. No, like there wasn't no phone thing. It was just like, nigga, when I spoke to him, that was my opportunity to tell him like, yo, bro, I need
Everything,
you. We
yeah.
playing da da da. Sound check this time. Don't worry about it. You gonna get paid. Come through. And the bro pulled up, and
Right.
yeah, we had a couple of Sensation Band gigs where
Wow.
you feel me, where Jovi did us the favor and rocked out on the bass.
Ooh.
Or whatever
Respect,
and
yo,
shit.
V-Man.
Yeah.
Blup, 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 blup.
Yeah,
Blup, blup,
yeah,
blup, 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 blup. He's in the house.